A St. Pete man tells us toxic black mold is the reason that he got really sick. This morning, he's recovering after undergoing nasal surgery, but he wants everybody to hear his warning.
ABC Action News anchor Lauren St. Germain here with us this morning in studio. Now, Lauren, the renter claims the company just didn't respond about the mold.
That's exactly right, James and Dia. He says he contacted the property management company right away, but didn't hear from them for at least 20 days and eventually moved out. So many of you right now are clicking on this story on abcactionnews.com. The company is called Invitation Homes. It merged with Waypoint Homes a couple of years ago, and together they own thousands of properties in Tampa Bay and nationwide. David Sawyer tells us the company eventually fixed AC and plumbing issues after he moved in, but when he told them about the toxic black mold, they weren't responding. ABC News has documented numerous complaints from renters about this company about problems just like this that aren't quickly solved.
Good communication and honesty and owning up to things would have just gone such a long way.
So we're taking action for you this morning to help prevent mold growth in general in your home. So controlling moisture is key. When there are water leaks or spills, you really need to act quickly. Also, always vent appliances that produce moisture, things like dryers and stoves, and run a bathroom fan or open a window when showering, and do the same thing when cooking or running the dishwasher. We have more suggestions right here in this article on our website, abcactionnews.com.
CBS 46 is working to get results for a Gwinnett County family. They are fed up with their apartment.
Yeah, they tell us they're dealing with leaks, mold, and they claim they're always getting sick. They say management keeps brushing off the problems. CBS 46's Melissa Stern joins us live from the promenade at Berkeley and Duluth to explain. Melissa.
The man I spoke to here today says he and his family moved in December. He says the problem started in March, and despite his complaints, they've continued ever since.
They come in, they take a look, I show them, explain to them what's occurred, and it's remained the same.
For months, Ezekiel Castano has sent countless emails and made numerous phone calls to management, but to no avail.
And since then, I think this has occurred anywhere from 7 to 10 times.
He went through the maintenance request process they asked for, and they replaced the ceiling in the bathroom after a huge leak back in May.
Last night, that broke.
But the other issues remain.
So in the HVAC closet, it's just water dripping down from, I guess, the unit above.
He says water is constantly dripping in various parts of his apartment. Stains now line the ceiling from water damage.
Not sure what to do at this point. I sent them emails, dozens of emails, called them, followed up with them. They said they're going to take care of it. 2-3 days passed, nothing happens. I had to follow up with them.
He's had an inspector come out to run some tests.
He tested the air samples in the bathroom. He tested in the air unit, and it came back positive for mold.
He and his family are constantly sick.
My son has been in and out of hospitals.
He adds that he's not the only one. He says his neighbors are suffering too.
I spoke to them, visited their apartment. I saw the water damage there. They even mentioned to me that, is this something that happens here all the time? And I said, yeah, you're gonna have to get used to it. But I don't think it's something that we should get used to.
After speaking with property management, they actually sent someone over today, and Castano just told me that they're in his apartment right now. We'll be following up to make sure all of the problems are fixed. Reporting live in Duluth, I'm Melissa Stern, CBS 46 News.
Thanks, Melissa. Getting results. And if you have something you want us to investigate, call 404-327-3131 or email the investigators at cbs46.com, and we will work to get results for you.
Action for you all day long today at 7 Action News, this time for a disabled vet from Ypsilanti who says she's been breathing in mold.
7's Taking Action reporter Amira David is working to get that renter and others who live there some relief. Amira.
Well, the tenant who lives here is currently moving out. She says the problems inside have taken a huge toll on her health. Others here have issued the same complaints, so we're taking action to get them some help.
I have to seal the doors because the air is coming in.
Diana Chapman says staying warm inside her apartment is a constant challenge. She lives here at Huron Heights, Huron Ridge, an affordable housing complex that accepts her veteran voucher.
I had to put like some plastic tarp and some tape around the window.
Heat being lost through the windows and doors, while the furnace, she says, isn't working properly.
There's only one room I can live in, and that's like pretty much upstairs. That's the warmest room in the house.
But there's one small problem. room. The warmest room is also the one that's home to a mold-like substance. So we put on some protective gear and head upstairs.
These are sprouts of it.
This is video of what it looked like just days before we walked in.
Weakness, hard time breathing. Right now I'm on antibiotics because I've been picking up infections.
Today, most of that mold isn't quite as visible. Chapman telling me it had just been removed by maintenance after a VA commissioned inspection demanded it be taken care of.
I think that the roofs are allowing moisture to get down into the units.
Blue tarp, she says, has been sitting on the top of the roofs here since the spring of 2017. Another resident who didn't want to be shown on camera gave us this video showing a major leak that has gone unfixed. I couldn't find anyone in person, while several calls and messages out to Van Roy Companies, which oversees the property, weren't returned. And we reached out to the city of Ypsilanti because we wanted them to take a closer look at this roof. They came out yesterday and they slapped this property with a violation for not having the correct permit. They say they're going to come back out and re-inspect in 30 days, and we're going to continue to follow the story until we get some resolve. For now, in Ypsilanti, Amira David, 7 Action News.
Amira,
tonight, continuing coverage, residents in one Macon apartment are displaced for the 3rd night after busted pipes flooded some units. Our Gloria Ruth Finney is live at West Club Apartments, where residents say their living is simply not right. Gloria Ruth?
That's right, Greg. It's been pretty chaotic here. And despite the focus on unit number 9, residents say the problems are everywhere.
I've been in a hotel for 3 days, and because we have mold and flooding.
That building could take a couple weeks to get fixed.
Jared Zamet is a plumbing technician working the scene.
You have to get the mold people to come in, check it, test it, spray, do what they do, and then you got to get carpenters to come back in. The purlings, the beams that are supporting that wall are rotting out. So, and then they got to re-sheetrock, put new board up, and put everything back in place.
He took me inside an upstairs apartment where he says the issue originated.
It's really black and moist, and that can be a symptom of black mold.
Inga Sanders lives in the same building. Today, she still can't go home. Some residents say management said they could move back in tomorrow, but they say they're being told by code enforcement their apartments are unlivable.
I've just heard from the code enforcer that we cannot move back in, and I just text the corporate people and they were telling me how we could come back home tomorrow.
2 days ago, James Walker was the maintenance supervisor. He told me maintaining West Club was, quote, like putting lipstick on a pig.
I was hired as a maintenance supervisor, and now I have found a better opportunity at another apartment complex owned by a totally different company.
And that upstairs apartment with all of the mold and rotten beams the plumber took me inside of, well, that happens to be the apartment West Club provided Walker to live in. And this isn't the only building residents have issues.
I didn't quite wear the right shoes for mud puddles today, but you can definitely see all this water is piling up at the same apartment complex.
I tried speaking with someone from the office and was told to leave. I tried speaking with who residents say corporate sent in today. He wouldn't even roll down his window. Still no response from AGPM, the Florida-based management company. Not even a reply from Debbie Jordan, the woman residents say they're communicating with about where to stay, since they can't stay there.
A representative from Macon Bibb says code enforcement and other agencies will continue to monitor the progress. However, I spoke with one resident a little while ago who says she's not been able to get in touch with anybody about where to stay, how to pay for it, and for how long. Live in Macon, Gloria Ruth Finney, WGXA News.
Okay, Gloria Ruth, thank you.
Well, a mold issue in a newer Pittsburgh housing development has some residents concerned for their health. The Pittsburgh Highlands were constructed late last year. Since Linda Gage and her daughter have moved into their respective homes, they've been dealing with mold. Both women say they've reached out to their property manager, Housing Residential Management Services, with the complaints, but they have been given only what they feel are short-term remedies to fix the issue. Now, Linda and her daughter are considering moving from the Pittsburgh Highlands because they feel their health is on the line.
It's just kind of disheartening because, you know, we were looking forward to moving into the nice brand new home, and here it is, you know, we're having issues, and it's just, like I said, just disheartening, and we have to look for a new house now because the mold is just going to continue to grow.
Linda says the property management company did provide them with a dehumidifier after the complaints. In a statement responding to the mold issue, property management company says, we recently learned of a mold issue in some of the homes, and since that time we've been doing remedial work to redirect rain runoff from crawl spaces. We engaged an environmental consultant who tested the air quality levels in each home, and we were happy to let the residents know last week the test results indicate indoor air quality levels are registering at or below outdoor levels, end quote.